IceHogs made the move over the offseason to bring in another veteran goaltender. Did you kind of see the writing on the wall that you were probably going to start off the year back here in Rockford?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, when you look on paper and, you look at the experience, that's obviously something that they wanted to go grab. And, obviously for me, I try not to let it change the way you prepare and your mentality. But, they obviously made a choice, but it doesn't mean that I can't push, for that spot. And that's what I did in the summer. I didn't let it affect me. I just kept training and preparing the way I had planned. And I think it set me up for a good start of the season, and I look forward to being here and contributing as much as I can.
With that being said, you got more time, more exposure up there. Even went overseas with the club. How did you utilize that to your advantage to be able to get that much face time with the coaching staff and the management?
It's important, as far as interacting with the personnel there more so, I'd say, than the coaching staff. To get on the same page with the guys and, have those personal interactions, even like going to dinner and, all the stuff outside the rink. It's really important because it's so much more than a game. It's like the interaction, between your cohorts and your peers. It's so important, and that's something that you remember when you look back. It's, maybe not so much, I'd say, the wins and losses, but the experience, the journey with those guys. So that's really what I used it for, to interact, with my teammates over there and, get to know them a little bit more personally.
When it comes to on ice, though, what is it that you think you need to show them more of?
I think overall, I just want to be more consistent. I want to be a player that's dependent upon in key moments. I don't think necessarily, I've probably only played around, 50 or so games. And some guys play that in a whole season. So I think, more experience is going to be important for me, down the line, because I want to be a starting goalie someday, and, that's a big workload. So I think that's something that, hopefully I'll be able to, get a big portion of the games here this year and show that I can, keep that consistent effort, through the whole year and get results, be a winner at the end of the season.
And you show that it's more than just wins and losses down here, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously my mindset, has changed, since I've first been here. Obviously, like, my development track is different than it was the first year. Whereas the first year maybe it wasn't so much about stats as it was, feeling comfortable in pro hockey. But now, it's, myself and, maybe a handful of other guys, we've been here for 3 years, and I was talking to one of the other guys the other day, and I think it's now time that, we make a push. We have the experience. Our first year, we went pretty deep in the playoffs. We've had a taste of it, and now it's time to use that, to get back, to a level of prominence. So I think that's going to be really important, for the veteran leadership and myself this year, is that we guide this young group, of a really talented young group of guys, that we can influence. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for the whole team, as a cohesive unit. We're only going to go as far as, our weakest member goes. So we have to, build everybody up. We have to challenge each other every day. And I think that's something that myself and the veteran leadership in the locker room will have great influence over this year.
What's been like to come back here and obviously have the same, goalie coach, have Lonkinen back, have Tompkins here. You guys kind of been gelling, obviously, and pretty much same group of guys as last year to really make your stamp on this league.
Right. Yeah, and as I alluded to earlier, it's about the relationships. To have those guys back. They're quality people. And it really helps with the transition. I'm not in a place that's, completely unfamiliar to me, so it's nice to see some familiar faces and have some, in-depth dialogue, about very specific goalie things that not many people would understand. So it's definitely cool, to be able to interact with them.